iOS application development, practical and real time. I welcome you all. Steve Jobs is the person who was behind Apple, and he innovatively created the complete Apple ecosystem, and he launched many of the Apple products. That is the reason we are here today. We are working on his products and making our lives easier. And these are the various products from the Apple. Like we have iPhones and iPads and MacBook are the very popular. And we are having accessories for them and Apple server. There are many other stuff as well. Who am I? I am DNREDDi from Hyderabad. I have around 10 years of experience. I am still working, and around 8 years of experience in training in various ways, like corporate training, like directly going to the companies and training their freshers, and classroom trainings like offline training and online training here in India and abroad. Proficient in teaching Objective-C as well as Swift programming language. I am the Udemy instructor, like that is a e-learning platform where I have my own course, and YouTuber where I make a couple of content related to the iOS. Yes, this course is designed for layman, means the one who does not know anything should be able to understand. So I'm covering here from very basic, like what is the operating system or OS. OS is a software which controls hardware. Like we're having Windows operating system or Mac operating system, which is software which controls the system, which is PC. What is smartphone? A mobile phone with touch screen, internet access, and an operating system that is capable of running downloaded applications. Smartphone is a hardware actually, which is having a touch screen as well as internet access and an operating system. All three, and the operating system controls. Operating system is capable of running downloaded applications. We're having various vendors like Apple, Samsung, Google, Vivo. There are many other vendors who is manufacturing the smartphone today. And what is iOS? iOS is, as we have already talked about operating system, iOS is one of the operating systems for mobiles. iOS is only specifically operating system for Apple smart devices such as iPhones, iPads, and iWatches. Here, these are iPads, iPhones, iPod. iPod means which is not having calling facility. It is simply a phone which is without calling facility, we can say, and iWatches. In all these products, the iOS is the operating system which is running. We are also having specific operating system for iPad OS and Watch OS, but once you learn iOS, you can build applications for all. And what is Mac OS? Mac OS is Unix-based operating system for Apple PCs. Apple PC means Apple computer, the one which you are seeing here today. This one is Mac only, MacBook Pro actually. Okay. In this MacBook Pro, in this laptop, Mac OS is the operating system which is running. Mac OS is the one software which is controlling the MacBook Pro. Mac OS is the operating system for iMac, Mini Mac, and Apple laptops, which is MacBook Pro or MacBook Pro Air, etc. Only these are. What is iOS application development? Our course is iOS application development. What exactly it is? Building applications for Apple smart devices such as iPhones, iPads, iPods, and iWatches. Once you learn iOS application development, our agenda here, our course agenda is to build applications for iPhones, iPads, iPods, and iWatches. Smartphone operating system, there are various smartphone operating system. iOS is the one which was unveiled, which was launched with iPhone in 2007, whereas Android, which was unveiled in 2007, but launched in 2008 with a HTC Dream mobile. And Windows and Blackberries were there. Now, right now, iOS and Android are the booming in market. These two are the competitors each other. Version history. As we're having for Windows, if you see, we're having different versions: Windows Vista, Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 10. Similarly, iOS is also having different versions. The iOS operating system is the starting from 1 at present 15.5 is the latest, the current operating system of iOS. iOS current operating system version is 15.5, which is important in case of interviews. They will test you, the interview test you whether you are aware of latest technologies, latest launches of Apple. So this will be changing based upon the date of interview of yours. Maybe actually iOS 16 is revealed actually. That is the upcoming iOS operating system, iOS 16. At present, 15.5 is the iOS latest version. Similarly, Mac also contains versions. The current macOS version is macOS 12. They started like from 2000. They have started introducing. They launched in 2000 year that macOS. At present, macOS 12 is the latest version. The name of the macOS is Monterey. Like we're having Windows 7, Windows 10. Similarly, macOS also contains a name, that is Monterey. What we need, our agenda is to build the applications for iOS. Like what exactly we need, what exactly the softwares we need and the hardware we need. The first thing is macOS running PC or system. We need a system to develop applications. Like we need a computer that should be running macOS. Programming languages we need IDE. IDE means some kind of editor we need. Testing environment we need. Developer account to publish the application. These are the various things which we need to develop the applications for iOS. Mac PC. Either you can use iMac, which is the bigger one, iMac, or you can use Mac Mini. Mac Mini is simply a CPU which you can connect to a regular monitor, and you can also insert the regular mouse and keyboard. And MacBook Pro, which is laptop, you can use, or else you can use Windows PC with VMware. Even if you are having Windows PC, you can install VMware so that you can run Windows as well as Mac. This is the last option, but better if you have iMac or Mac Mini or MacBook Pro. And programming languages, there are two options here. One is Objective-C, another one is the Swift. Swift is the latest one. Objective-C was introduced almost 2 decades ago, but at present, Swift is the programming language is everybody using. Still, learning Objective-C also plus. Means in some of the companies, if they have their own frameworks which were built on Objective-C, they might be continuing the same, but it is very rare. But at present, you must be having the Swift programming language knowledge to get a job. And IDE, we need IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. If you see in olden days, we used to write a C programming in small editor, where only editor is available, just compile it and run it. But integrated development environment is something which is a collection of a couple of things. Like it has editor, it has for testing, we have simulator, where you can manage the source code, where you can manage the version control system. There are a couple of things integrated together and given as IDE, so that you don't have to use multiple tools, different tools to build your application. Everything can be done by using Xcode itself. That is, Xcode is an IDE, integrated development environment, where you can write the code, where you can manage the code, where you can test the code, where you can build the application, and you can publish from the Xcode itself. That is, Xcode is the editor which we use. Xcode is an integrated development environment containing a suite of software development tools developed by Apple for developing software for OS X. OS X means Mac OS as well as iOS. iOS SDK, the Xcode itself contains iOS SDK. SDK means some software to build applications. Xcode is an IDE which internally contains software development kit, which is iOS SDK. Like iOS SDK means some frameworks for developing applications. We are trying to build iOS application. We do not build from very scratch, right? We need some other frameworks. We use some other frameworks and we build on top of that. So iOS SDK is the one which comes with Xcode. Once you install Xcode, everything will be ready. As in Android, you need to install Android Studio. You need to add the plugins. You need to add the simulator. Nothing. Once you install Xcode, everything will be ready. You just need to write your code and execute it. It is very simple. Testing options. There are two different ways to test. One is iOS simulator, which is a virtual device, we can say. In case of Android, we are having emulator, whereas we can have iPhone real device as well. But for development, iOS simulator is enough. Only some features we cannot test, such as the cameras or Bluetooth. Those we cannot test in simulator. In such cases, we need real device. What is simulator? Simulator allows you to rapidly prototype and test builds of your app during the development process. During the development process, if you want to test the application, you can use that. Installed as part of Xcode tools. Simulator runs on Mac and behaves like standard Mac application while simulating iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, etc. Basically, iOS simulator is a Mac application. Means it runs on the Mac PC, right? Xcode is also a Mac application. Okay, iOS is a virtual device to test our application. The Xcode itself contains the simulator. The Xcode itself contains the instruments. Instruments is the high-end, we can say high-end testable tool, we can say. Basically, for fine-tuning the application, we use fine-tuning in the sense how much CPU the application is using, how much memory the application is using, how much time it is taking to compile, etc. To test these things, we use instruments. In practical, we see that. And we know what exactly we need to develop the application. Like we need PC, we need Xcode, we need languages, we need testing environment, and somewhere we need some developer account to place our application somewhere in the public. The place is called App Store. For Android, we're having Play Store, right? Play Store to put the application. Similarly, here we're having the iOS App Store, where you can publish all your iOS applications to that particular store so that public can go and search on iOS App Store and they can download the application. Similarly, we also have Mac App Store to publish our Mac applications. Mac application is Xcode is one application, Safari is another application which runs on the Mac, and Finder is another application. There are many applications which are used for Mac, like system. For system, we are having separate store. For smartphones, we are having separate store. For smartphone, the store name is called iOS App Store, whereas for system, the store name is called Mac App Store. And finally, we need developer account, right? To publish our application, you have PC, you have Xcode, you have chosen the language Swift, you have built the application, you have written the code on Xcode, you have built the application, you have tested it by using simulator, and you have fine-tuned your application by using instruments, and you have to purchase one developer account to publish your application to the App Store. But these you do not need to worry about it, because the companies itself, they sponsor this. Wherever you are working, the company itself purchases the developer account and gives it to you. Here there are three variety of developer accounts. One is Apple Developer Program, which is the regular one. You need to pay $99 for every year, which is used by the individual or by company. To publish your application to the App Store, at least we need one developer account, which is $99, which you need to pay per year. Apple Developer Enterprise Program, which costs $299 per year. Enterprise means the application will be distributed on your own. You don't have to put the application in the Play Stores. One example here is we are having Uber. We regularly use Uber, right? There, Uber driver is one application, Uber client is another application, Uber customer. If you go and search on App Store, you will find Uber application, which is customer. which is customer. We can download that application, but Uber driver is another application which you cannot find that on the App Store, because the Uber driver is enterprise application. The Uber company itself installs that application on the authorized driver. Okay, that is the difference between general developer program and enterprise developer program. In most of the big companies, they use enterprise application itself. For example, if you go for IBM or EM, Cisco, or Infosys, anywhere, they will have their own enterprise account. They install some of the applications, and they'll have their own store. From their store, their employees install it. Authorized employees can install it. And the third one is the iOS developer university program, which is free of cost, but this is given to the only for the colleges or universities which has iOS as part of the curriculum in USA. These are the three various things, but you need to understand the difference between Apple developer program and Apple enterprise program. This is what exactly we need to develop application. What is operating system? What are the various operating systems we have? What is smartphone? What is iOS? What is iOS application development? What are the tools we need? What are the softwares we need? What is the iOS application life cycle, like where to start and how to publish the application? This is all about iOS application development process and our agenda too. And in this demo, I'm going to show you some coding examples as well. As we're going to deal with script programming, I'm going to take you through very basic stuff to make the layman can understand what we are developing here. We are developing programming here. Actually, we are developing software. Software is collection of tasks. Collection of tasks means collection of programs. Simply, what is program? We are day to day, we write programs. For next 2.5 months, we write programs. What is program? First of all, program is a task which takes some input, and that will be the input will be processed and output will be given. Simple program, simple real-time example is ATM. Once you enter into the ATM, you insert the card. Card contains some information, and you enter PIN number, you enter some amount. PIN number, card, and the amount, all three are the inputs to perform some operation. What operation? Withdrawal operation, to perform the withdrawal operation. These three are the inputs. Once those inputs are taken, the software, what it does, actually, that will be interpreted, that will be compiled and interpreted. It actually checks whether the card is valid or not, if the given PIN is authorized or not, correct or not, and if the given amount is, the balance is available or not. That will be checked by the program. If the all three are correct, then amount will be given. The cash will be cash will comes out. Means that is the output. Okay, how much cash? If you enter 10,000, you will get 10,000. Okay, one more example is simple example is addition. If you want to perform some addition, what to perform the addition, you need to have two values. One is 10, another one is 20. To perform the addition, you need to have two values. These two are the inputs. And once you give two values, as and when you click on equal to, what happens? Some operation will be performed. The 2 plus 2 will be performed, and the output will be given as 4. Here, 2 and 2 are the inputs. 4 is the output. In between, what is happening? Processing is happening. The processing called program, basically. Okay. Here we are not only giving numbers. If you want to, here, if you see, if you want to create a book, if you want to purchase a book, what do you need to do? You need to give the title of the book. You are going to the shop, simply, you are asking, I want this title book. Okay, that is the input. The book name is input here. The shopkeeper processes that, understands that, and goes to the rack and pulls the book and gives to you. The book is the output, book name is the input, shopkeeper is the one who is processing your request. I mean to say here, you are going to give, the inputs are going to be different types. It can be numbers, it can be floating point values, it can be strings, it can be characters, it can be booleans, it can be many complex types. We develop all those complex types as well. Here, these are the various types of inputs we have that will be processed and the output will be given. Here, the inputs and the outputs will be in the form of data only. The inputs and outputs will be in the form of data only. As and when you insert a card into the ATM machine, it shows you the name. It is belongs to DNREDDi. That is one kind of output. The DNREDDi, what you are inserting card. The card is read by the machine, and the information which is read by the machine is processed by the system, and it goes to the database. Basically, this goes to the server and pulls the information about the particular card user and displays DNREDDi. Okay, here DNREDDi is a string. Card is something which stores information, some information. I mean to say that inputs are various types and outputs also various types. The default data types what we are having here is these are the various types, the default data types we are having. Here, to categorize the different data, we are having different types, data types. To hold the whole values, we are having integers. To hold the floating point values, we are having float or double. To hold the single character, we are having character. To hold the simply collection of characters, we are having string. To hold the true or false, we are having yes or no. True or false, we are having boolean. These are the various data types we are having. First of all, you need to understand what is program, what program needs, and what happens in between, and what output you get. One thing you need to remember is analysis is the very important. Whenever you are given any task, you need to analyze that what input we need to provide, what output I am going to get. If I simply say perform addition between two numbers, the input what we need is two numbers. You need to understand what are those two numbers, how to save them, what type of data type we need to take. This is about the program. We are going to deal with many these data types and complex types. Everything is in the form of document. You can simply refer the document also to get the idea, and everything will be written in front of you so that there is no confusion here. Here, this is the Xcode, which is Mac application. Let me simply create one playground. Go to file, new playground. Demo. I'll tell you how to create this playground, what is exactly the application, how to use the Xcode, etc., how to install the Xcode, etc. I want to perform addition. I want to perform addition between 2 plus 5, 2, 5. These two are the values. Basically, this is some information. 2 is some information, and 5 also some information. To save the information, we need some space. The space is called RAM. We need to request some space to the RAM. I'm just writing something here. Let's assume that I'm taking one name for that space and putting this. Let B is another space name which I'm putting 5. What it says to the compiler, what it says to the Xcode is I want to store integer value. I need some space for the integer value, which is 2. The name of that space is A. Here, I want some space for the integer. The value which I am going to put is 5. The name of that space is B. This is how we store the information. I want to store the information to perform the operation. So this is how we are requesting compiler. We are requesting Xcode. Xcode, give me some space in RAM for integer type. Give me another space in RAM which is integer type. Let result A plus B. Here I am performing the operation here, addition, and saving that result in, saving that output in the RAM again. Here I am telling to the compiler, I am telling to the Xcode, I need some space in RAM of type integer to store the result of A plus B. result of a plus b, or you can say some any name you can put. I'll also tell you what are the different names we can use, what is the format we can follow, the rules and regulations for creating variable. This is called variable actually. And printing, some I can print. Let's run it. Seven is printed, 5 plus 2. This here we are preparing inputs, we are performing operation. Here we are displaying output. Any program, if you take, all three will be there. Input will be there, processing will be there, and output will be there. But the inputs and outputs will be of different forms or different types. Here, if you use 2.5 and 5.5, here you need to use, since it is not whole value. If you give whole value in integer, it won't take. Okay. For that, you need to use double. Okay. Based upon the input value, input type, you need to provide. You need to ask for RAM to give that kind of space. Here, I'm going to store double, so I'm requesting double type space. Here I'm going to space double. Here also I'm requesting RAM to give double type space. The name of that RAM space is B. This is output. This is for today actually. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I'll also take you through the course curriculum, what I'm going to teach, what I'm going to give in this next 2.5 months. Basically, we need 60 to 70 solid hours. You may ask, like others are completing in just 45 hours or 40 days or 30 days. But learning properly to get complete confidence or to get job, at least you need 60 solid hours. That is the reason I kept this course in 60 hours or 60 plus hours. And the course is divided into 10 different weeks. The first week we are going to see what exactly the mobile operating system, what is operating system, what are the software and hardware requirements, what are the different tools we need, and data types, very scratch. Even if you do not know any programming experience, okay, you can go through it. Okay, data types, what is constants, type annotation, very basics, and everything will be in the form of real time. Everything will be written in front of you, as well as all the documentation is ready, and everything is interview oriented, how to answer in interviews. Okay, I'm the one who is having around 600 plus interview questions as well as answers. I also have Udemy course, which is, let me show you, this is my Udemy course, DNREDDi, and 106 reviews and 4.2 rating, and many purchased, around 600 or 700 plus people purchased it. 654 students already purchased it, given 4.2 star rating. This will be given for you for free. And I also have, this is basically for Swift only. For iOS, I am having another set of interview questions. Altogether, I am preparing 160 most frequently asked interview questions that will be given for free for you. Let me go through the course curriculum here. Optionals, very important. What are the different operators we're having in iOS, in Swift actually? What is type alias, what is functions, what exactly the method, how to write it. Oops, complete. For oops we are spending almost 1 week. For basic Swift we are spending 1 week here. Week 3, this also comes under Swift only. Week 3 also for Swift. Week 4, basically we are spending 1 month to understand them basic. To understand basics, we are spending almost 1 month. That is more than enough. Okay, I'm going to give you the very strong foundation, so that if anybody asks any interview question, you should be able to answer it. At the end of 3rd month, you should be able to get a job or get confidence to clear any kind of interview. And week 5 and 6, I'm going to teach here controls. What are the basic controls here? And the controls here, the table view, which I'm going to teach you for almost 1 week. We need 1 week time. for table view, and the rest is collection views and design patterns, what we use, what are the different design patterns we're having. Week 7 is for covering core data and REST web services. So open REST webs, how to consume the, how to hit the API, how to get the response and consuming that and saving that in local database. And week 8 for multi-threading and other high-level things which are really useful in real time. Once you get into the industry, you'll be working with a team, how to work with team, what are the various tools they use in the industry. And unit testing is application, how to deploy the application, what is the process for that, and how to use the unit test cases, which is important for these days to clear the interviews. At least you need to have the idea, which we are going to teach. And Swift UI basics, if possible, and interview question walkthrough. As I told you, I am having 600 plus interview questions. If you learn those 600 interview questions, those are enough to clear any kind of interview in the world. I'm pretty sure that. That is proven as well. The top institutes in Hyderabad are also following my documentation as well as my interview questions. If you know anyone, they can tell how exactly I prepared those interview questions and answers. This is all about what I'm going to teach in next 2.5 months and 60 solid hours. What I'm going to give you the free thing, the everything is documented, everything is there. The session time is about to close. I request you to rejoin the meeting so that if you have any doubts, I can clarify regarding the course.